Magandang hapon mga kapatid. Andito tayo ngayon sa ating podcast ngayon. No? This afternoon, hindi tayo Wednesday lecture ngayon. Sinamantala ko na lang dahil andito ang aking classmate na si Dr. Philip Quitco. Classmate ko sa medicine, matalik kong kaibigan. So, ito ang ating topic ngayon sa Faith Seeking Understanding about depression. No? Still, related pa rin sa spiritual kasi pag may depression ka, nalulungkot ka, gusto mong sinasakyan din ng mga masamang espiritu minsan, no? At ngayon, nakakalungkot, ang daming nasa balita, mga teenager, nagsisuicide, no? Pwedeng masabi nating spiritual, pwedeng biological, no? Mga chemical reaction, o pwede ring societal pressure, no? Naggagayahan, no? Nakikita nila sa ginagaya nila. So para maintindihan din natin ng mga magulang kung anong mga telltale signs para malalaman kung mababantayan ito, kung andito ba ito sa mga anak natin ang mga depression, para ma-prevent natin itong mga nakakalungkot na mga balita ng suicide. So andito ngayon ang aking classmate, i-introduce niya ang sarili niya, si Dr. Philip Quitco. So dito siya sa nakiklinik sa Dipolog. Okay? Let us welcome him. Down na.
Good afternoon to everyone.
Okay.
Ako po si Dr. Philip Quitco. I'm a psychiatrist based in Dipolog City, Zamboanga del Norte. Classmate kami ni Dr. Diching sa West Visayas State University College of Medicine. And right now I am practicing in Dipolog City. Lahat ng mga pasyente sa Zamboanga del Norte, nakikater ko rin sila. I am a diplomate of the Specialty Board of Philippine Psychiatry, and I've been practicing sa Dipolog since 2010.
Saan clinic mo daw?
Sa Zamboanga del Norte Service Cooperative Hospital, otherwise known as North Hospital.
Very good.
Okay, ngayong hapon, I decided to be here in Osamis kasi gusto ko talagang kay Dr. Diching mag-meet sa kanya para maano yung topic natin ngayon, ma-discuss yung topic about depression and suicide. Kasi madalas maraming tao nagsasabi na depressed daw sila, tapos ang sabi nila ng iba, suicidal sila, marami silang problema, so they are depressed. So let's define first what is depression. Let's start by defining ano bang tinatawag na depression. So, ang depression is a mood disorder. So, we will ask, maybe you can ask, ano bang mood? So, ang mood na tinatawag ay emotional state or feeling, no? Ito po ay pakiramdam, emotions, or feelings. So, mood. So, ano naman ang tinatawag ni disorder? So, ang disorder refers to a physical or mental condition which is considered not normal or not healthy, or it is a disturbance or interruption of a normal function or functioning. So, depression is a mood disorder. It is a mental disorder. So, people say depressed daw sila. Pero ano pang pagkakaiba ng depression sa ordinary sadness? How do we distinguish depression from sadness? Okay? So, are they the same ba? So, ang sadness po ay normal emotion. It is a normal reaction to life's struggles, setbacks, and disappointments. Pero sa sadness, ang self-esteem natin o pagpapahalaga natin sa ating pagkatao, ating sarili, yung self-esteem o how we value and perceive ourselves, usually nandyan pa rin siya. Hindi nawawala yung self-esteem natin if we are just sad, no? Tapos, yung painful feelings come in intervals, hindi siya tuloy-tuloy. Okay? How about depression? So, ang depression na tinatawag is a mental illness. It is a mood disorder, no? So, psychiatric case talaga yung tinatawag na depression, no? Ang sadness sa depression is very extreme or very severe. Grabe ang sadness sa depression. Tapos, it affects your day-to-day life. So, pang-araw-araw mo na pamumuhay ay apektado sa depression. It interferes with your ability to work, to study, to eat, sleep, and have fun. So, lahat ng parts or lahat ng bahagi ng buhay mo ay apektado ng tinatawag na depression. So, sa depression, there is the feelings of helplessness. Yung helplessness na tinatawag is the inability to act effectively or to defend oneself. Meaning, sang helplessness is parang wala ka ng, parang wala ka nang magawa. Helpless, wala ka nang maitulong, wala ka nang magawa sa buhay mo, wala ka nang magawa, hindi ka na maka-defend ang self mo. So you are helpless, no? So one of the symptoms of depression is helplessness. Feeling mo wala ka nang magawang mabuti, wala ka nang magawang, you are no longer effective.
Wala nang solusyon.
Wala nang solusyon sa mga problema mo. Also, there is hopelessness. So nawalan ka ng pag-asa, you feel hopeless, nawalan ka paglaom. And you feel worthless, wala ka ng silbi, you are already useless sa palagay mo or sa the way you feel it na parang wala ka na talagang halaga or you are already useless, no? Which are intense, grabe kaayo, and persistent, tuloy-tuloy siya or pangmatagalan with little or no relief at all. Tapos there is prolonged lack of interest. Ang prolonged lack of interest is at least mga matagal yung nawala ka na ng gana sa mga activities na gusto mong ginagawa before, yung mga ginagawa mo before, yung mga gusto mong mga hobbies mo, hindi mo na ginagawa because nawala na yung interest mo, yung gana mo sa paggawa or pag-perform ng mga bagay-bagay na dati ginagawa mo or dati gustong-gusto mong gawin, ngayon wala ka nang gana sa nagawin yon. And low or depressed periods, mga at least 2 weeks na you are very, very sad, no? Or you are always crying. Marami kang mga gustong gawin before pero hindi mo na kanina nagagawa.
Interrupt ko lang doon ha. Doc, pwede ba, ang lahat ba ng depression may trigger or pwede rin wala?
We will discuss that later.
Okay.
There are a lot of factors for that.
Sige.
Okay. So, ano naman ang pagkakaiba ng bereavement or grief from major depression? Ang grief or ang bereavement, ito ay ang pagluluksa, no? Pag namatayan tayo ng tao, ng kamag-anak or loved ones, ito ay tinatawag na grief or bereavement or pagluluksa. So, anong pagkakaiba ng pagluluksa sa major depressive episode? So, grief or bereavement is the psychological reaction or the emotional, cognitive, functional and behavioral responses to the death of a loved one. So, ito po ay pagluluksa or grief or bereavement, no? So, pag namatayan tayo, we have psychological reaction. Our emotions, the way mag-process we think, functional and behavioral response, behavioral natin na responses, it pertains sa death ng loved one natin, no? So, ano pagkakaiba? So, ang feeling sa kung pagluluksa lang, we feel empty, no? Tapos we feel at loss because namatayan tayo. Dito naman sa depression, depressed ang mood natin. Tapos we have the inability to anticipate happiness or pleasure. Meaning, parang hindi na expect, hindi na tayo nag-expect na we'll be happy again or will have pleasure, no? Ang focus natin sa pagluluksa ay yung feeling na empty tayo at lost because namatayan tayo. Ang sa depression naman, we no longer anticipate or hindi na kita nag-expect nga maging happy tayo or we will have pleasure, no? Tapos sa pagluluksa, the state of being unhappy or the so-called dysphoria in grief is likely to decrease in intensity, no? Over days and it occurs in waves that is so-called pangs of grief, no? These waves tend to be associated with the thoughts or reminders of the disease. So, kung nagluluksa ang isang tao, as days go by, parang nag-decrease naman yung feelings of being unhappy niya kasi after few days na namataya, after na, example, nailibing na yung kamag-anak o yung loved ones, after how many days, ang unhappiness mo na nakaka-recover ka kaagad, no? Parang nawawala na yung nag-decrease na o lumiliit na yung ang being unhappy mo. Tapos na you will just parang na bumabalik pag once ma-remember mo lang yung namataya ang kamag-anak mo or loved ones mo na namatay, pag na-remember mo siya o yung memories niya, diyan lang ka naka-experience na parang you are already parang ano ka pa rin, parang ang sadness mo bumabalik-balik. Ang sadness mo na bumabalik kasi naaalala mo yung namatay o yung kamag-anak mo, no? Sa depression naman, ang depressed mo or ang severe sadness or severe extreme sadness mo is more persistent, so tuloy-tuloy siya. Persistent and not tied to any specific thoughts or preoccupation. So, ang sadness is tuloy-tuloy ba? Sa pagluluksa, the pain of grief may be accompanied by positive emotions and humor, no? Sometimes, so not all the time ikaw you will be unhappy or you will be sad, no? May mga panahon na sometimes joke rin ka and you have positive emotions. Whereas sa depression naman, pervasive ang unhappiness and misery, parang tuloy-tuloy siya and it is chronic, no? Tuloy-tuloy at saka pang matagalan ang feeling of unhappiness and misery mo, okay? Tapos, sa pagluluksa, the thought content is generally features a preoccupation with thoughts and memories of the namatay. So, ang focus mo sa grief is yung namatay mo na kamag-anak, no? Ang sa depression naman, the person is pessimistic, no? So, parang negative ang thoughts niya. And considers self as someone who is weak, defective or bad. So, sa namatayan or sa pagluluksa, ang content ng iniisip mo is tungkol sa kamag-anak mo na namatay o sa namatay mo na loved ones. Ang sa depression naman, ang person is very very negative sa pag-iisip tungkol sa self niya. So, consider niya self niya as bad or weak or defective. Okay. Sa pagluluksa naman, kung ang comments niya about ang self niya is kung negative or bad ang comment niya sa kanyang sarili, no? Kung it involves kasi sa pag-iisip niya na parang may kakulangan siya, no? Parang nagkulang siya sa namatayan. Like for example, hindi siya nag-visit or hindi niya nabigyan ng mga
panghihinayang.
Oo, hindi niya nabigyan ng panahon yung loved ones niya o na namatay. So, feeling niya, nagigilty siya or na-perceive niya may kakulangan siya. That's why may bad comment siya sa self niya, no? Pero sometimes, hindi masyadong, at as days go by, wala rin naman yan. Pero dito naman sa depression, ang kanyang sarili is feeling niya bad talaga siya no? There is hate sa self niya. Ang self-esteem mo sa bereavement or sa pagluluksa is nandyan pa rin siya. Ang halaga mo sa pagpapahalaga mo sa self mo, pagtingin mo ang halaga sa self mo, nandyan pa rin siya sa pagluluksa. Pero sa depression, you feel talaga na wala ka ng self-be worthless. Tapos ginahate mo pang self mo, no? Tapos, kung ang tao na nagluluksa ay nakapag-isip na gusto niya ring mamatay, it has connection na parang gusto niya kasi makasama yung namatay na loved ones or kamag-anak. So nag-aisip siya, mabuti siguro mamatay na lang ako because namatay na rin yung loved one ko. So ang thinking niya about death is pertaining or has connection with the namatay na kamag-anak, no? Yung sa depression naman, ang focus niya na gusto niya mamatay is because feeling niya wala na siyang silbi, worthless na siya, no? Wala na siyang silbi, useless na siya, undeserving of life, or unable to cope with the pain of life. So gusto na siyang mamatay. usually, ang depression na simptoma are less than 2 months. Tapos, ang sa depression naman, pang matagalan, ang kanyang mga, ang kanyang,
Bereavement, 2 months.
ang depressive symptoms kung sa bereavement, no? Ang sadness or ang severe sadness sa pagluluksa ay at least less than 2 months, no? Ang sa depression is tuloy-tuloy siya at matagalan. Okay? Tapos sa bereavement, kung di siya makafunction ng mabuti or there is functional impairment, transient lang siya at saka mild lang. Dito naman sa depression, sobra ang hindi na siya makagawa. For example, mag-resign na siya, extreme ng kanyang, hindi na siya makafunction ng mabuti, hindi na siya makabalik sa work because depressed siya kayo o hindi na siya makaperform mabuti sa school.
Tulog na lang tulog.
Tulog na lang siya ng tulog. Oo. Tapos sa pagluluksa, there is no family or personal history of major depression, whereas sa major depressive episode, talagang may family history or of major depression. So, depression is a public health priority. So, bakit siya kailangan tutukan, no? Ang depression na ito. Because it is a public health priority, dapat tutukan siya because it is a common illness worldwide with high prevalence rates, no? So sa world, there are there are millions. So 322 million worldwide, no? People nag-suffer sa depression, no? 4.4% in the community. 10 to 20% sa primary care attenders. And 10% in women who have given birth. So there is also postpartum depression na ang postpartum depression na yan is ng pag nanganak yung babae, nagkakaroon sila ng symptoms of depression. Depression is also a public health priority because it has impact on families, no? Infant growth, family relationships, and child rearing. So for example, kung depressed ang nanay, so paano niya palakihin mabuti yung kanyang anak? No? Paano there are family problems kung may depression ng isang member. So ang relationship nila with one another, sometimes may mga pag-aaway, hindi nagkakaintindihan because sometimes there are mga family members hindi makaintindi ng sitwasyon ng ng kanilang family member na may depression. So sometimes the relationship nila is parang strained ba or hindi maganda yung relationship nila. Tapos sa child rearing, hindi mapaalagaan mabuti ng nanay na may depression ng kanyang anak.
Kala nila, nag-iinarte lang.
Oo. Dapat, okay. So it is also depression is also a public health priority because it is a major cause of disability, no? And high suicide rates and a major cause of suicide across all age groups. So bisang bata, matanda, or all the age groups talaga are affected by depression and pwede siya makakos na mag-suicide yung mga anybody in any age groups, no? So, ang depression is a public health priority also because it is correlated with other physical health conditions. So, may mga sakit na non-communicable diseases and communicable diseases. So, may mga sakit na related din sa depression, no? So, sa study, these are the diseases nga connected sa depression. So, tuberculosis, HIV, cancer, hypertension, diabetes, and myocardial disease, no? Sa mga heart problem. So, depression is also a public health priority because it has socio-economic impact, no? So, kung depressed ang tao, hindi na siya makapagtrabaho. So, there is high unemployment rate. Tapos, it worsens the living conditions. So, kung mahirap ka lang, tapos depressed ka pa, paano ka makatrabaho niyan? Paano ma-uplift yung life mo? So, it worsens your living condition. So, sa Pilipinas, 3.3 millions suffer from depressive disorders. So, that's ganyan kalaki po. So, ano ba mga simptoma ng depression, no? So, ang symptoma or symptoms of depression, it vary from person to person. Meaning, hindi lahat pari-pariho, no? So, isang tao, iba yung ang symptoma niya, yung the other is iba rin. The other person is iba yung symptoma niya. So, pero dalawa lang ang key symptoms niyan eh. Number 1, depressed mood or feeling. So, the person is very sad, very, very sad with feelings of helplessness. So, helplessness again is feeling mo wala ka nang magawa sa buhay. Feeling mo wala ka nang, you can no longer contribute, you could no longer defend yourself. You are already helpless. Then, there is also hopelessness. So, again, wala ka ng pag-asa, you no longer have hope. And worthlessness. So, you are feeling worthless, useless, wala ka ng halaga sa buhay. Or, sometimes, irritability. No? You are very irritable, daling magalit, kaunting galit na galit ka na, or you are very irritable. And the second symptom is the loss of interest in things or in daily activities. So before, you are very, very energetic, no? You have a lot of hobbies, no? Hobbies, tapos may mga ginagawa kang gustong-gusto mong gawin. Daily activities, no? Sa ngayon, pag na-depress ka, nawala yung gana mo sa ginagawa mo dati. You have lost your interest in things or in daily activities. For example, academic achiever ka before sa school. No? Ngayon, wala na yung gana mo going to school. Or last time, you are very enthusiastic pa sa going to your work. Ngayon, wala ka nang ganang gawin yon because you are depressed. So, sa major depressive episode or major depressive disorder, at least 5 kasimptoma ang present with during the same 2-week period and represent a change from previous functioning. So, kailangan to diagnose na may depression ka, at least 5 or more na simptoma ang present within the 2-week period, no? And represent a change from previous functioning. So, ano pa mga additional signs and symptoms of depression? So, ito, we have feelings changes in the feelings, no? So, change siya yung mga emotions and feelings. So, a person with depression, he is unable to enjoy anything. Wala na siyang inability, hindi na niya kaya, or wala na siyang, unable na siya na mag-enjoy anything. He or she feels hopeless. He or she feels helpless. There is emptiness, no? And loss of warm feeling for family or friends. So, kung before, nakipag-socialize pa siya, talking pa, or maganda pa yung relationship niya with the friends or with family members, sa ngayon, ayaw niya na makipag-usap, kinukulong na lang yung self niya sa kwarto, ayaw niya nang lumabas, hindi na siya gusto makipag-socialize. So, that is one of the changes sa depression. Tapos, may feelings of self-blame or guilt. So, grabe ang guilt and self-blame na feelings sa depression, no? Loss of self-esteem, yung pagpapahalaga mo sa sarili mo nawala na. Yung self-esteem mo nawala na. Tapos, you feel worthless. Talagang you feel useless ka na. Tapos, inexplicable or incomprehensible crying, sadness, or irritability. So, mga tao na depressed, always crying, kahit parang hindi ma-explain ba bakit nag-cry siya, no? Crying, always crying, tapos very extreme ang sadness, or sometimes irritable din sila, dali magalit, dali ma-irritate. So ano pa bang so there's also changes sa behavior and attitude, no? So a person with depression, neglectful of responsibilities na siya, no? An appearance. So mga tao na may depression, hindi na sila makagawa ng responsibility nila. Ayaw na gawin yung mga responsibilidad nila sa family, sa work, no? So, neglect na lang nila because as if wala silang energy to do it. No? And appearance, hindi sila maliligo, ang grooming nila na suffer na because depressed sila. Then we have also general slowing down or becoming less active, no? So ang speech nila is very slow and movement is very slow, no? Ang movement nila at saka yung speech na is also slow down, slow or parang hindi sila energetic ba, no? Then we have also psychomotor agitation such as having restlessness, pacing up and down. And on the other hand, pwede rin siya parang hindi siya mapakali, no? Restless siya, pacing up and down. Tapos socially withdrawn, as what I said, hindi na siya makipag-usap na ibang tao, ayaw na siya makipag-socialize, kinukulong niya ang self niya doon sa kwarto, ayaw na makipag-usap. And we have also suicidal behaviors. We have also cognitive symptoms, no? So cognitive comes from the word cognition, which refers to the process of thinking. A person na may depression has poor memory. So, memory niya is very, hindi na siya makaremember ng mga important na mga nangyari or ang memory niya is suffer talaga, no? Inability to concentrate. So, kung nag-aaral siya before, hindi na siya makafocus sa kanyang pag-aaral or sa kanyang trabaho or sa ibang niyang ginagawa. Difficulty making decisions. So, nahihirapan na siya magawa ng kanyang mga dating gustong gawin ng mga bagay or hindi na siya makagawa ng mabuti or appropriate na decisions. Tapos, there's also recurring thoughts of death and suicide. So, pabalik-balik sa mind niya na gusto na siyang mamatay o gusto na siyang mag-suicide. So, we have also physical complaints, mga unexplained na physical symptoms kung may depression ka. So, ano ba mga physical complaints na ito? So, sleep disturbances. A person na may depression wakes up very early in the morning. So, 12, 1, 2, 3 in the morning, they are already awake. No? Or they have difficulty falling asleep. So, nahihirapan sila mag-umpisa ng kanilang pagtulog. Or they are sleeping too much. So, whole day matutulog sila. Kasi wala na silang energy. Another physical complaint ng person na may depression is the lack of energy. So, kasi parang walang energy. So, sleepless lang all day, maupo lang sila dyan, ayaw na makipag-socialize, kasi feeling nila wala silang energy, no? Loss of appetite. So, some of them, hindi na kumakain. So, nawala yung ganan sa pagkain, no? Tapos, we have also weight loss or weight gain. On the other hand, siyempre, hindi ka kumakain, no? Wala ka nang ganang kumain, so mag-weight loss ka. On the other hand, there are also depressed person na kumakain ng sobra, labis yung kinakain na, so nag-weight gain sila. Loss of sexual desire, so ayaw sa makipag-sex sa kanilang mga loved ones or sa kanilang mga partner, na wala yung loss of sexual desire nila. Tapos, unexplained headaches or backaches. So, may mga physical complaints like mga sakit yung ulo, masakit yung mga likod nila, lahat ng parte ng katawan masakit. Stomach aches o sa tiyan, indigestion or changes in bowel habits. So, these are symptoms of physical complaints, no? These are physical complaints sa depression. So, anong pagkakaiba? So, ano naman yung simptoma ng depression in children and adolescents? So, yung mga teenager at saka mga bata. May pagkakaiba ba sa adult? Tingnan natin. So, itong sa mga bata naman, in children and adolescents, mga teenagers natin, these are the common symptoms of depression. So, irritability and anger. Madali sila magalit and irritable sila. We have also behavioral problems. Some of them are using drugs or prohibited substances. They engage also in sex or they have sexual promiscuity. Academic problems. So sometimes mga magulang pinapatawag sa school, no? They suffer ang academics nila because of depression. Tapos, they have preoccupations with morbid or gloomy themes, like having interest in disturbing and unpleasant subjects like death and disease. So, sometimes you are thinking about death and diseases. Heightened expression of boredom and frequent aches and pains. So, mga narami siyang sakit sa katawan. Students often present physical symptoms when they seek medical advice. Example, sakit ng ulo, sakit ng tiyan, sakit sa mga legs and chest. So physical ang complaint ng mga bata na may depression most of the time. So sa behavioral problems, kung depressed, sa mga depressed girls, so usually they are socially withdrawn. So ayaw na makipag-usap, kung nagkulong lang sa kwarto. They are silent also, inactive, and they feel hopeless. Sa mga depressed boys naman, they become disruptive or troublesome. So gumagawa sila ng sa school, mga problems, and they become aggressive, no? And they also demand a great deal of attention from teachers and parents. So sa mga senior citizen, like sa elderly naman, ano naman ang mga simptoma nila ng depression? So sa elderly, difficult talaga mag-diagnose, no? Kasi hindi mo makita ang sadness eh. The depressed mood need not be present sa mga elderly or sa mga persons, mga senior citizen, no? It is a depression without sadness. So wala sila simptoma na sadness, no? They lack feelings or emotion. And persistent loss of pleasure and interest in previously enjoyable activities. So sa mga senior citizen also, mostly, ang ila complaint is somatic or bodily complaints like mga sakit-sakit, no? Preoccupations with sa tiyan or digestive functions. Tapos, we have also prominent cognitive complaints such as memory problems, difficulty concentrating, and they have social withdrawal or avoidance of social interactions. They have unexplained health worries, so always shopping doktor. Kasi hindi ma-explain ang mga concern nila about health eh. They have heightened pain experience and complaints, no? So marami sa sakit sa katawan, na-experience sa sakit ng katawan. A lot of consults to one or many doctors. Shopping sila ng doktor kasi maraming sakit eh. Sa kanila, they feel na maraming sakit or worries about health nila, no? Pero hindi mabigyan ng solusyon ng mga problema nila, yung mga sakit-sakit nila. They have also irritability, dahil magalit. And there are signs of functional impairment or otherwise unexplained functional decline. So ano ba mga risk factors? Bakit nade-depress ang isang tao? Ano ba mga things na nag-increase a person's chance of developing depression? So number one talaga na risk factors is the life events, no? Experience of loss or end of relationship. So kung nag-break ka mo ng boyfriend mo, ng girlfriend mo, walay ka mo ng asawa mo, or namatayan ka, pwede ka magkaroon. These are risk factors na magkaroon ka ng depression. Lack of social support is also one. Stressful life experience is also a risk factor. Family history of having depression is also a risk factor. So this is hereditary kasi pag may I will discuss later, no? So kung may family members kayo, especially like your parents mo or siblings mo na may depression, pwede ka mag-develop also ng depression. Trauma, abuse, or neglect are risk factors also for depression. Alcohol and drug abuse. Remember that alcohol is depressant siya. So makapa-depress ang alcohol actually and drugs or prohibited substances, no? I will discuss that later. Health problems or chronic pain. So kung example din, may cancer ang tao, tapos chronic ng sakit niya, this can cause also, it is also maka-cause na magkaroon siya ng depression. Financial worries, money, it involves money, so it can cause depression. And major change at home, work, can cause also depression. So may mga biological basis din kita, no, sa tinatawag na depression, no. So there's such thing as neurotransmitter theories, no. So sa atong brain, ang cells natin sa brain nag-release siya chemical eh. There's neurotransmitter, a chemical that is released from a nerve cell which thereby transmits an impulse or a pulse of electrical energy or a brief current from a nerve cell to another nerve cell. So, sa cells ng utok natin, no? Ito pong neurotransmitter na ito is a messenger of neurologic information from one cell to another, or it facilitates communications between nerve cells in the nervous system. So ito siya, no? So gina-release itong chemicals na ito sa another cell, tapos nadawat na-receive ng isang cell. So communication happens once na release ito ng chemical sa another nerve cell. So I will not discuss it in detail, pero this is our example sa mga chemicals or neurotransmitter na mababa sa depression. So dopamine, no? Ang dopamine na ito, it involves motivation, enthusiasm, movement, working memory, positive feelings, pleasure, alertness, clarity, appetite. So sa depression, baba ito siya, mababa yung level niya. Ito rin serotonin, no? Under neurotransmitter din ito siya. So it is a happy chemical. It regulates mood and social behavior. It contributes to well-being and happiness, appetite and digestion, sleep, memory, sexual desire and function, relaxation, learning memory. It constricts the smooth muscles. So sa depression, there is reduced level of serotonin. Ito rin, mga norepinephrine, adrenaline, hormone siya, neurotransmitter. So marami siya rin siyang function. So itong norepinephrine at noradrenaline na ito is also baba rin siya. Mababa yung levels nila, no? So then we have also biological basis, no, genetics, so family history. So first degree family members of individuals with major depressive disorder are at least 2 to 4 times higher to develop 2 to 4 times higher to develop the same disorder than that of the general population. So kung sa inyong pamilya, nanay, tatay mo merong depression, ikaw na anak, 2 to 4 times higher na may risk na mag-develop ng depression also. So may mga gamot rin tayo na nag-cause rin, na pwede mag-cause ng depression. So ito siya, these are the medications na pwede rin siya mag-cause ng depression. So use of alcohol, no, or illicit drugs, or after stopping the use during the withdrawal period, makakontribute din siya ma-depress ang tao. So especially nag-withdrawal siya, example, nag-stop siya agad sa paggamit ng alcohol, or nag-stop siya gamit ng mga pinagbabawal na gamot, pwede siya magkaroon ng depression. Example sa methamphetamine, cocaine, hallucinogen drugs, sedatives, hypnotics, anxiolytics like diazepam and alprazolam or opioids can cause depression. Antipsychotic medications like yung ginagamit para sa mga may sakit sa pag-iisip, makakause din siya depression. Then heavy metals and toxins such as gasoline, paint, insecticides, and nerve gases or the weapon of chemical warfare, carbon monoxide and carbon dioxide can cause also depression. May mga sakit rin ang cause depression like diabetes mellitus, anemia, malnutrition, heart disease, arthritis, kidney diseases, HIV, lupus and multiple sclerosis, hypothyroidism, cerebrovascular accident or stroke, and chronic pain. This can cause also depression. So, paano ma-manage, no, ang depression? So, once the symptoms are identified, once ma-identify ang mga simptoma ng depression, the person suffering from depression must have family support. Kailangan ng family support. So, dapat i-educate ang family, no? Kasi sometimes nangyayari dyan, hindi nila maintindihan yung nangyayari sa person with depression. Sometimes, pagagalitan pa nila, mumurahin pa nila, nag-iinarte lang daw. So, dapat, may family support and the family must be educated about the symptoms of the patient. So, family of patient is usually involved in the treatment and management of patient with depression. So, sa clinic, usually, we are talking with the family, hindi lang sa pasyente. No? He or she must seek professional consult. So, he or she must be referred to a psychiatrist for a thorough evaluation to determine whether ang cause ng kanyang depression is purely psychological lang or psychiatric or may mga medikasyon na sakit, neurological conditions, metabolic disorders, or medications na nag-cause or substance-induced na mag-cause ng kanyang depression. So, pag pumupunta yung mga pasyente sa clinic, we usually have laboratory workups also, no? Pinapa-laboratory sila, no? May mga request kami for laboratory workups to check for medical diseases or substances and medications na may cause depression, and we give antidepressant or medications, and psychotherapy must be administered to patients with depressions. Most of the time, 6 na buwan ang pagpainom sa kanya ng gamot for depression. And we also do psychotherapy or talk therapy to add to the medication. Let's go to suicide. So, ang suicide po ay second leading cause of death among 15 to 29 years old around the world. Ang data na ito po ay 2015 pa, baka ngayon mas mataas na, no? Tapos, sa 2015 rin, 788,000 suicide deaths globally. So, ngayon baka mataas na ito siya. Global suicide rate was 10.7 per 1,000 population. Sa Pilipinas, 2,558 suicide cases were reported in 2012. Siguro ngayon mataas na ito. And the suicide rate, with the suicide rate of 2.9 per 100,000 populations in 2012, and nearly 8 in 10 reported suicide cases in 2012 were males. So sa study sa 2021 of the Young Adult Fertility and Sexuality Studies led by the UP Population Institute, close to 1 in 5 Filipino youth aged 15 to 24 years old have ever considered ending their life. So may mga 1 in 5 Filipino youth 15 to 24 years old nag-try mag-commit suicide. Nag-consider siya nga makitilin yung kanyang buhay. So in 2010, Nadira et al. In the review of suicide reporting, it states that ang common age range daw sa mga tao na nag-completed suicide, ang mga completed suicide ay yung namatay talaga sa suicide, no? Ang common age range of those na nag-commit suicide na namatay were in the ages 20 to 29 years old. Tapos ang sex ratio sa mga completed suicide o yung mga namatay talaga na sa suicide, 4 males to 1 female. Sa mga nag-attempt, nag-suicide, 1.7 sa male and 1 sa female. And the common methods of completed suicide ay yung mga nakakamatay talaga na suicide na method sa pag-suicide are hanging or pagbitay ng sarili, handgun, and jumping from high places. Ang most common attempts naman are poisoning, slashing of the wrist, and drug overdose. Sa adolescents, 12% among the adolescents with depressive disorders commit suicide. Completed suicide occurs 5 times higher in boys than in girls due to impulsiveness and recklessness. So mas impulsive kasi ang babaang lalaki and reckless. So mas dako ang chance na ang lalaki mas mamatay talaga siya, completed ang suicide nila, no? And the use of firearms by hanging is usually done sa pag-suicide ng lalaki, tapos sa babae na mostly ingestion ng chemicals or anything. Okay. So bakit nagka-commit ng suicide ang isang tao? Ang tao po ay nag-commit suicide because he is unable to cope. He or she is unable to cope with the stressors, and there is the feeling of helplessness and hopelessness. So definitely depression pa rin ito No, hindi niya kaya mga stressors sa kanyang life, no? Hindi siya ka-cope up with the stressors sa life niya. Tapos helpless na siya and hopeless. So depressed din siya. And then genetics, biological and social factors are contributory also in which the person may commit suicide. So ano ba mga risk factors na mag-suicide ang tao? So again, relational, social, work or financial loss. So again, loss pa rin sa part ng tao, no? So relations niya, social loss, work niya, and financial loss. Okay? Physical illness can cause a person to commit suicide. Previous previous suicide act or acts. So kung nag-suicide na siya before, risk factor rin yan. Na ulitin niya. Easy access to lethal methods, especially guns, no? So kung may gun sa bahay, pwede yan gamitin para mag-suicide, no? Okay? The age, the culture, and lack of connectedness or social isolation is also a risk factor for suicide. Exposure to sensational media reports of suicide is also a risk factor. So sometimes makikita ng mga tao na mga news ba na nag-commit suicide ang isang tao, baka gusto nang gayahin pa rin. No? Gayahin na mag-suicide din sila. We have also family history of suicide independent of psychiatric illness. So kung sa pamilya, may mga family members na suicide, pwede rin gawin ng another family member, no? And parental suicidal behavior. Now, we're going to ask true or false, okay? The thoughts of suicide are temporary. So, ang pag-iisip mo ba, thinking about suicide, temporary lang ba? True or false? It is true. The thoughts of suicide are temporary lang. So, ang heightened suicide risk is often short-term and situation-specific. So, pumapasok po yan sa isip mo na ma-suicide kapag may mga sitwasyon na pwede mag-trigger na ma-suicide ka, no? The heightened suicide risk is often short-term. Short-term lang siya, hindi siya, hindi siya tuloy-tuloy. Situation-specific lang siya, no? While suicidal thoughts may return, they are not permanent. And an individual with previously suicidal thoughts and attempts can go on to live a long life. Second question, if a person is determined to kill him or herself, nothing is going to stop them. So kung determinado siya na kitilin yung kanyang buhay, wala na ba sa makastop sa kanila? It is false. Remember that suicidal thoughts are temporary. Even if someone has been feeling low, anxious, or struggling to cope for a long period of time. That is why getting the right kind of support at the right time is so important. So, kailangan may family support talaga eh. Kasi suicidal thoughts, temporary naman siya. Hindi siya tuloy-tuloy eh. Specific siya, it is specific talaga eh. May situation specific lang na makapag-isip siya mag-suicide. So, kung ma-help siya, kung may support siya, baka hindi na siya mag-suicide. Or ma-prevent yung kanyang pag-suicide, no? People who talk about or threaten suicide don't really mean to do it. Kung nagkakwento ba siya na about o nag-threaten siya ma-suicide, hindi niya ba ito gagawin? People who talk about or threaten suicide don't really mean to do it. It's false. People who talk about suicide may be reaching out for help or support, no? A significant number of people contemplating suicide are experiencing anxiety, depression, and hopelessness, and may feel there is no other option. So it's important to always take someone seriously if they talk about feeling suicidal. Helping them get the support they need could save their life. Meaning, kung nag-talk siya, nag-threaten siya ma-suicide, dapat you have to be serious to it. Hindi mo take for granted ang isang tao kung sabi siya na ma-suicide siya kasi pwede niyang gawin yun eh. So, kailangan dapat we have to help or you have to address kung anong concern niya. Kasi pag nagsasabi siya ma-suicide ako, kung nag-threaten siya ma-suicide, talagang gagawin niya yan. Possibility na talagang gawin niya yan. So, do not take for granted a person who is talking about suicide or threatening about suicide. People who talk about or attempt suicide want to die. Gusto ba ng tao na mamatay siya kung he is talking or attempting to commit suicide? Gusto ba siya mamatay? Talaga? It's false. On the contrary, suicidal people are often ambivalent. They are unsure or undecided about living or dying. It doesn't mean na kung nag-istorya siya about or nag-attempt siya mag-suicide, gusto na siya mamatay. They are actually unsure or undecided. about living or dying. The majority of the people who feel suicidal do not actually want to die. Hindi sila gusto mamatay. They do not want to live the life they have. Hindi sila gusto mamatay, pero ang life nila ngayon is they don't want to live the life they have. So access to emotional support at the right time can prevent suicide. Anyone who tries to kill him or herself must be crazy. Totoo bang may sakit sa pag-iisip ang mga taong gusto mag-suicide? It's false. Suicidal behavior indicates deep unhappiness, but not necessarily mental disorder. Many people living with mental disorders are not affected by suicidal behavior, and not all people who take their own lives have a mental disorder. So, hindi lahat na nagka-commit suicide ay may baliw or may sakit sa pag-iisip. Not all of them have mental disorder. Talking about suicide may give someone the idea. Totoo ba na kung nagsasalita ka about suicide sa isang tao, nagbibigay ka ng idea sa kanya kung paano mag-suicide? It's false. Most people who are contemplating suicide do not know who to speak to. Hindi nila alam kung saan sa pupunta, sino kakausapin nila. So rather than encouraging suicidal behavior, talking openly can give an individual other options or the time to rethink his or her decision, thereby preventing suicide. Suicide frequently occurs out of the blue or without warning or unexpected. Bang pag-occur niyan? False po yan. Kasi the majority of the suicides have been preceded by warning signs. So later we'll discuss that warning signs, no? Whether verbal or behavioral. Of course, there are suicides that occur without warning, but it is important to understand that what the warning signs are, and look out for them. Suicide attempts won't be repeated again because of shame. Totoo ba na kung nag-suicide ang isang tao, hindi yan nagagawin because nahihiya na siya? False. In fact, just the opposite is true. Within the first 3 months to a year following a suicide attempt, people are at highest risk of a second attempt, and this time perhaps succeeding. A previous suicide attempt is among the strongest predictors of future suicide attempts. So kung nag-suicide na siya, first suicide niya, within first 3 months to 1 year, pwede niya ulitin ang ginawa niya na mag-suicide siya ulit. And this time baka mamatay na siya o maging successful na siya sa pag-suicide. So, tandaan, ang previous na pag-attempt na mag-suicide is among the strongest predictors of future suicide attempts. So, pwede niya ulitin ang pag-suicide. People who die by suicide are people who were unwilling to seek help. Totoo ba na mga tao nag-suicide hindi gusto humingi ng tulong? False. Studies of suicide victims have shown that more than half have sought medical help in the 6 months prior to their deaths. So, ano mga tinatawag na suicide warning signs? Ito po, number 1, talking, writing, or joking about suicide or death. So, kung a person na nag-talk, nag-write about suicide or nag-joke, please be serious with this person. No? Do not take for granted a person who is talking about suicide because pwede niya gawin talaga.
Minsan may mga drawing pa.
Mga drawing pa yan, no? Another suicide warning sign is giving away prized possessions. So, mga properties niya, bigay niya na kung kanino. Mga mahalaga niya, mga then making final arrangements is also a suicide warning sign. Depressive symptoms. So kung depressed siya, sintomas niya, pwede siya mag-suicide. Sudden and unexplained recovery from profound depression. So, a person very severe before, tapos suddenly, naging okay siya, nawala yung suddenly nawala yung depression niya, kahit wala siyang mga gamot na binigay, no? Pwede, yun pala, plano na yun mas-suicide. Pwede yun example, pinadala siya sa hospital kasi suicidal. Before siya, depressed siya masyado. Tapos suddenly, nag-cooperate lang siya, nawala yung depression niya suddenly. Plano pala siya mas-suicide. So that is suicide warning sign. A person who is very, very severe, very, very depressed, suddenly nag-okay siya. Nawala yung depression suddenly without gamot, without therapy. Plano pala siya mas-suicide. So, we have to take that also for, watch out for that also. Tapos, marked feelings of helplessness or hopelessness. So, wala nang pag-asa, feeling helpless, or wala nang magawa, could be warning sign for suicide. Also, risk-taking behavior. So, a person na gusto mag-suicide, take drugs or prohibited substances, smoke, drinking, sex due to feeling of hopelessness. Self-mutilating behavior. So, sinasaktan ng sarili niya or ina-harm yung self niya. A suicide plan is also a warning sign. Significant change in behavior is another warning sign. Previous suicide attempts. So again, I said kung nag-suicide na siya, how many times na nag-suicide, pwede niya ulitin. Significant loss and chemical, drug, or alcohol abuse is also a warning sign. So ano ba nasa isip ng tao na gusto mag-suicide? What are the thoughts of a suicidal person? So number 1, example lang ito everyone will be better off without me. I won't be needing these things anymore. Kung na kailangan ito, mas okay ang mga tao kung wala na ako. I wish I was dead. I can't do anything right. All my problems will end soon. I can't think straight anymore. No one can help me now. I can't take it anymore. Now I know what they were going through. So these are some of the examples sa mga thoughts of a suicidal person. So who are at risk? So these are at risk based on studies So actually all of us are at risk today. So single people, depressed people, LGBT also sometimes mayroon din young males, housewives, army, older people. Actually marami talaga at risk Depende rin sa mga factors kung paano ka mga factors ba na or risk factors na pwede ka mag-suicide talaga. So anyone can actually be at risk for suicide. So paano ba natin mabigyan ng help or how could you provide help sa person na depressed and suicidal before natin siya ma-refer sa psychiatrist So, know the thoughts of that person by directly asking him or her about suicide. Are you thinking of suicide? I'm worried about you and I need to ask you. Are you thinking of suicide? Are you suicidal? Have you been contemplating suicide? Sometimes people who say things like that are thinking of suicide. Are you thinking of suicide? So, direkta pag sa kanya ba, you have to direct the question talaga kailangan direct to the point na pag-question sa kanya. What can you say to a suicidal person? I'm glad you told me I want to help you. I'm glad you told me and I'm going to find someone to help you. I will stay with you until help arrives. Ano naman ang hindi mo pwedeng sabihin or what not to say to a suicidal person? It's just a phase or period chapter in your life. You'll snap out of it. Or you can just get out of that unhappy situation or feeling. Stop being so selfish. You're just trying to get attention. Get over it. Sometimes they say, drama ka lang. So, paano mo ma-manage yung depressed and suicidal patients? So, pag depressed siya, very severe, for example, ayaw kumain, suicidal na siya, how many times mag-attempt, kailangan siya ipa-hospital, i-admit talaga. So we give medications, we go psychotherapy, at saka kailangan support from patient's family members, loved ones or significant others. They are needed talaga. Support is needed talaga. They are also involved in the treatment and management of the patient. I think that's all. Thank you. Bigay ko ulit kay Dr. Ditching, ha. Thank you so much.
Ay, question pala, Doc. Pwede bang isang taong walang family history o perfectly normal mahulog sa depression kung may trigger like mga sadness, mga breakup, pwede ba?
Pwede.
Pwede pa rin, kahit
Pwede pa rin.
normal.
Kahit normal.
Okay, okay. So, pwede rin pala ang depression mag-pretend na happy siya. So, suicidal pala siya. Pwede.
Pwede. There are also high functioning depressed person. Baka perform pa rin sila, pero deep inside nila, they are already depressed. And some of them commit suicide talaga.
Ayun. So, thank you so much, Doc Philip, ha. So, salamat masyado ngayon na binigyan tayo ng idea ni Doktor para ma-aware tayo ng mga symptoms, no? Anong dapat sabihin, anong hindi dapat sabihin, at mas lalo nating naunawaan ngayon, at least meron na tayong panangga, no? At least mas naintindihan na natin at hindi lang sila nagdadrama lang. Minsan pa pala parang okay lang sila. Kaya may nababalitaan tayo, no? The day before, saya-saya nila na pamilya nila, nag-party pa, nag-smiling pa. Pagkabukas, suicide na lang, no? So, meron din ba yung study, Doc, na nakakatulong yung pag mas malakas ang faith ng tao?
Yes.
Sa yung may relationship ba, correlation sa survival ng depression sa kung strong siya kay Lord, malakas siya kay Lord?
Actually, sa psychiatry, we also involve spiritual, yung mga spiritual, yung mga, we involve sa spirituality sa depression.
Sa psychotherapy, mga ganun?
Pag support sa church members or church, pag may sa religious organizations na malaki ang support nila, like mga nabibigay ng counseling, help, malaking help din talaga sa mga pasyente. Because we also involve the spirituality.
Kasi kung walang pananalig kay Lord, lalong wala na siya mapupuntahan talaga, no?
Yes, talaga.
Inaapak niya na lang lahat ng problema. So, Doc, kung gusto sila magpa-check up, may mga pasyente silang may depression, saan sila pupunta? Sa anong address?
So, siguro sa Monga del Norte lang kasi malayo naman ako sa amin.
Pero kung nandun sila, nakikinig sila doon sa Dipolog, no?
Sa Dipolog. So, my clinic is in Zamboanga del Norte Service Cooperative Hospital sa Torno.
Okay.
Monday to Saturday, 1:30 to 4 p.m. Wala kasi akong secretary, so may list of patients. Nilalagay ako na list of patients sa entrance. So you can just write your name there.
Okay.
Thank you.
Monday to Friday?
Monday to Friday. Saturday.
Monday to Saturday. Okay. Sige. So, brothers and sisters, yun lang. Thank you so much for listening and watching. God bless you all.